So I think that most people are not training hard enough, but let me tell you why. So there's this guy at the gym that I'm training right now. I'm doing it for free because I still want the experience and stuff like that. Really cool guy. This video is not meant to attack him in any way, but he said something to me. He hit me up, or I was checking in with him like a few weeks ago, asking him how everything is going. He showed me his workout plan. I told him it's probably not the best one. It had no rest days. I gave him a workout plan that I already made. I checked in with him to see how the workout plan was going, and he was like, hey, everything is going great. The only thing is, once I get done with the workouts, I still have energy and stuff like that, and I kind of just want to be able to feel like I did something, so I do extra stuff after the workout's already done. And that immediately gave me the idea for making this video on why people do not train hard enough. Now, number one, starting with this one, if you have extra energy at the end of your workouts, if you still feel good, if you still feel like, hey, yeah, I can still go do another set of this, or I feel like I could do that workout all over again, you probably are not training hard enough. Especially if you are trying to build muscle, you need to be, I don't want to say you need to be dead, you need to be able to not walk when you leave the gym and stuff like that, but you need to be training yourself adequately. Like I always say, and if you watch any of my previous videos, if you are not training within that 1 to 3 RPE, or you have like 1 or 2 reps left in the tank, if you are not training very, very, very close within that margin, you're probably not training hard enough. Now, there are exercises where you probably shouldn't be training that hard and that strenuous and stuff like that, but for a majority of the lifts, a majority of your training, it should be very, very close to failure, if not actually going to failure. And a lot of my clips and a lot of my reels and a lot of my TikToks, you can see I'm pushing myself so close to failure that I have to sometimes pause before I do the last rep, or I have to pause in general right before I really push myself for that entire set. If you're not really pushing yourself, if you have extra energy after the workouts, if you have extra energy after a set, if you don't feel fatigued after a workout, if you don't feel the muscle is disrupted after the workout, you are not training hard enough, and that's just a fact. So one of the second things, and this is it coincides with the very first one, and that is if you're not letting out like involuntary grunts, if you're not making like some weird face, contorting your face and stuff like that, if you're not doing some subconscious signs in the middle of your set, in the middle of your rep, that is giving off signs that you're pushing yourself hard, you're probably not training hard enough. Now, I'm not saying you need to scream really loud and grunt and moan on every single set and every single rep, but on a good amount of reps and sets, I can definitely say, and this is because I watch back my videos a lot, I'm doing that all the time. I'm pushing myself very, very close to failure. And when you do that, you subconsciously contort your face, you subconsciously make noises, you grunt and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not being obnoxious, and I don't want you to be obnoxious and go scream and stuff like that, but it's a pretty good indication of how good you're pushing yourself if you're letting out those involuntary grunts, involuntary things like that and everything. Now, the other thing, and this one is also very similar, if you are not subconsciously or like consciously, purposely taking time to mentally prepare for each and every set, you're probably not training hard enough as well. Like if you just throw your phone down, knock out a few reps, pick your phone back up and start scrolling through Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that, dude, you especially me on squats, on anything like really heavy, accessory work is different, but like bench, squats and stuff like that, I am taking like a good solid 20 to 30 seconds to actually mentally, physically prepare. And I actually get a little bit nervous when I'm pushing myself that close to failure. Like I can't just jump into it like it's nothing, because it's going to exhaust so much mental and physical energy to execute that set to the highest potential. I can't just jump into it like it's nothing. It's going to take some mental energy. It's going to take me some hyping myself up and stuff like that to get into the set. I can't just jump into it. So you need to be making sure that you are getting to that place, taking time to mentally prepare, physically prepare and stuff like that for the next set, so you know you're training yourself hard. sign that you are not training hard enough is you're not seeing results, right? So you've been training for a set number of time, you've been training, and for some reason you're just not seeing results. The scale isn't moving, your body isn't moving, your weights aren't going up or anything like that, and that might be because you're not training hard enough. So if you put together all the tips and stuff that I gave you in this video, it pretty much all links to one another. If you feel like you are energized after a workout, like you can do the whole thing again, or you feel the need to do extra stuff on top of the programmed workout that you have, or you feel like or in general, you're just not nervous when you're starting something, you're not nervous when you're starting a set, you're not nervous when you're starting a rep, you don't pause, you just jump right into the sets one after another, you don't feel fatigued or the muscle isn't disrupted at the end of the workout, like all these things are linked to one another, but these are physical signs and mental signs that you're actually pushing yourself hard enough to actually have hypertrophy gains and push yourself to actually see some results. So I promise you guys, if you start making these changes, if you start doing these things, like I mentioned in the video, I'm not going to repeat them again, but if you are pushing yourself hard enough, if you are really starting to, you don't have to be sore every single workout. Your body's going to adapt to a certain point unless you're pushing yourself way too hard or it's your first time you're going to be sore. But for the most part, you should really be pushing yourself pretty hard. 1 to 2, maybe even 3 reps left in the tank. You shouldn't just jump right into the sets and everything like that. Like, you should be really pushing yourself and grinding for each and every training session. Not even each and every set, just each and every training session. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have an idea for a video that you want me to do, make sure you do it with a comment down below. If you like the video, make sure you click the like button and turn it blue. And lastly, if you guys really like these videos and you keep coming back, make sure you subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one.